Hello, Internet. Welcome to Crying While Driving. I'm your host, Lindsay Conway. We have Nikki Vergakis back in camp with a fall moment. You requested a fall moment cocktail.
I did.
So we have
our caramel.
We have an apple cider donut infused vodka espresso martini type concoction.
I'm so excited. Fall AF. Also,
AF.
yes, happy to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you for coming back.
Ooh. Yeah, it's literally giving like iced coffee a little bit, but like obviously way better. And I like the experience of having the caramel like in my mouth while I sip it, you know?
Like a little caramel, apple-y espresso martini moment.
Yeah, there's the first like spice, like fall flavors, and then the end comes in with the like creamy, quote unquote, you know, the milkiness.
Yeah, homemade oat milk.
Yes, homemade oat milk. How amazing. And I had a bit of the apple cider donut vodka on its own, and it was or smelled it. It was so good.
That was such a weird experiment that I'm glad went off.
Sometimes it's just the weird experiments that work out, and yeah, it did.
For sure. So since you were last here, we went to Danny's bar.
Yes. I remember we talked about going there last time. And we did.
And I had my very first ever espresso martini.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's right.
And I have not been able to stop thinking about it. So your request for a fall moment compared with I can't get that out of my head, we have this delicious fall thing happening.
And I love an espresso martini. And I had a caipirinha, which was so good. The yuca fries. What a great culinary experience at Danny's. I can't wait to go back and shake ass. See how that is.
Oh my gosh. I love the idea of going to their, what was it, bottom floor for an event. Yeah. Where will we find the energy? I don't know. Will we find it? I don't think I will.
I do have that. I do. I used to do it all the time. I can't do it all. It's not that I can't. It's that, you know, I want to take care of myself a little more now. Exactly. So, but that for me, that part of me is always there. It hasn't been gone yet.
In theory, I'm there. Yeah. So we are filming while the full moon in Aries is peaking.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of like how perfect.
What does that mean, and why should we care?
Because how I use astrology is, you know, for the purpose of my content and my clients and like their healing, and like, so I pick and choose which like lunation is what the new moons and full moons are called, and what event I like really pay attention to. So this isn't when I really looked into myself, but I do know that, and I forget the specifics, but I do know that Pluto's squaring this. So, which just like makes this very, very transformative. Squaring is not like an easy aspect. So it's in neither. Pluto is like big change, and it's powerful, so it's not exactly comfortable.
All of that resonates so deeply.
Oh yeah, no, or just with your with what's going on with you. Whenever anybody says anything about like astrology or lunations, and my mind goes to, my astrology teacher has people's charts memorized, and I don't have that for everyone's, but I know you're rising. So, easy peasy. This would be let me do my mental math. Taurus. Okay, this would be your 12th house. Woo!
Oh. What does that mean? What does that mean?
That is the house of like, I was just making sure my mental math is right. Yes, that would be your house, the house of death and rebirth, self-undoing, shadow work, shadow, spirit world, spirit connection, isolation, prisons, hospitals. It's there because everything has to be under these. So like so much is under these houses. But So, yeah. So that's a very transformative.
We're in a very transformative season. You're making big changes in your business. You're making very intentional choices in your personal life. You're in a season where you have put a pause on dating. Yes? Yes. Do you want to share any insights or personal growth that have come from this season and maybe why you landed here?
Yes. And I'm glad that I'm talking through this because it like can be like something that I could even, it just feels like everyone's always dating and people don't think of it as like a healthy thing to take a pause. But I feel really good about my decision. So, right after I ended my 5-year relationship that we talked about on last time, I realized that I like always like ended up falling into dating, falling into relationships, getting into most of the experiences I had prior to dating that partner were either like and I was very young for a lot of this, and there was like power and gender dynamics and whatever, but either like guys just wearing me down or just really coming from a place of people pleasing or like the idea of what that relationship could be. And so just
we're going to try so hard not to touch the mics, so Andy has very little work to do.
Yep.
But we're just kidding.
A lack of intention around dating. So, and with the Virgo Venus that we both have, I also know, I think for a while this came from I was on the other end of the spectrum where I was felt like I had to overcorrect and be over intentional, so that just I stopped me from dating at all.
Did you feel like if you were gonna date, there was a certain amount of energy you had to invest in that person or experience in order to like do it right?
Yes.
Is that very Virgo Venus?
Yes. You literally read my mind. I was actually, because I do, while I feel good about this break, I also think about that a lot of like how saying things, part of the reason why that is also like I wouldn't like give the person that I'm dating what I want to be, what I know I can or what I want to be able to give, while just like figuring things out and focusing on me right now. Like this is a theme in general, but my friends and I were having a conversation the other day, and they were just saying how people just weren't being respectful of their time, just wishy-washy and flaky and all of that. And my other friend was like, nobody is like making you be on dating apps. No one's making you date. If you can't prioritize even just like a casual connection and you're all over the place and you're not being respectful of people's time, no one's making you be on there. So it's like I'm partly that, like I want to be respectful of my time and their time, but also not using that as like an excuse or like hiding behind that of like, I just like, so just it definitely takes tuning into yourself and knowing like, okay, but when could I stretch? Could I stretch a little bit here? When does the break end? What are the how will I know that I feel good and satisfied and, I'm ready to date? And I think, and that has to come from a lot of it has to come from like an internal thing of like, well, what for as my with my clients, I talk about motivations a lot. Like, okay, why would I be dating then whenever I choose to begin dating again? I didn't even mean
Taylor Swift reference.
Yeah. And just making sure that that's from a pure desire for connection and not FOMO and not external validation, which I think is behind a lot of just behind why a lot of people just find themselves in relationships that don't work, but they don't leave and whatever, like, because they don't want to lose that validation, especially if you put like gender into it. If you're dating men, that's a whole other thing.
How have your queer experiences shaped your views on love and relationships and community?
Yeah, I think, like, going back to like the people pleasing thing, queer community in terms of like queer platonic or romance, all of it is like, these are people who you don't have to, like, you can just, you can and you should like show up fully as you and your quote unquote flaws or your like, I think this can happen when people are dating men, like, and also this is just a like pattern in my life of like, especially the Virgo Venus, of like, I have to be like fully like prepared. So it's not even like, it's not even really like looking a certain way or whatever, but like I have to ask this person to hang out in this perfect way, or like if I have to cancel, I can't because I have to inconvenience myself for that. There's like, these people are not expecting you to like inconvenience yourself. No one's in general, but like, or sometimes other people are, but like, you can just be imperfect. You can be imperfect,
yes.
as we are.
Yes,
as
right.
we all are.
Like, there's more room in queer spaces and relationship for like nuance and gray area, and like you're not expected to overextend,
which is like a muscle that like a lot of people, including, that's a big part of my story, like stopping that and realizing how second nature it is to overextend, and then
say yes. Yes, yep.
And I think that, and I was like, and then when you kind of realize, oh, even every relationship, friendship, family, romantic, even the ones I feel good about have elements of me where I'm currently or used to overextend. It's like built on overextending, and then you realize. And then, what has led me here is like, oh, I actually have to redefine this. I have to redefine what it is for myself to be in relationship.
Like how
with
you
other
show
people.
up in that relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's so incredibly challenging when you really love a person and you want to spend that time. It sucks to say no. We're both in seasons where we're like spread thin and very busy, and it's like the holiday season is approaching and you just want to see your loved ones, but you have to prioritize rest and you have to put yourself first, and that is so hard to do sometimes, especially in those relationships that are built on overextension.
Yeah.
Because they can't always survive like that boundary setting.
That, yeah. And like the ones, yeah. So then you see the ones that peter out after the boundary setting, and you're like, okay, guess that, yeah, that's how that person, that was our relationship. But and then that person like only wants me to be in their life when I'm overextending myself. But versus in my queer community, they've been like, yes, no, like yes, please do that. Don't, just a level of like kindness and understanding that is sometimes hard to accept at first, of like, but you deserve it. And, that is, so what I'm like, so that's really like the deeper level of the dating break, besides like actually logistically just figuring things out in my life, is like, wow, so what do relationships mean for me when I'm not overextending? And I'm every day, like in many ways, I'm like improving that through family and friendships. Because for me also, I've found that friendships, like emotional safety and vulnerability is very important for me. And it's, as an 11th house sun, it's easy for me to have lots of acquaintances and bop around, and that's fun. But like, I need, if I'm going to like hang out with a person multiple times, or have, and not in like a fun setting, not just in a fun setting, or like collaborate together or talk about life, I need that. I want to have that vulnerability. So it's really just, the cop.
It's okay.
So I am every day, like even in as simple as like asking friends to hang out or for support, or just like, how are you doing it? Like, it's like, wow, I'm literally feel like I'm orienting around how I connect with other people, point blank, period.
I always say that friendships are the perfect playground to like work those muscles and learn how to build trust and intimacy in a really safe way. All skills that you will eventually bring into a romantic relationship, but it's like lower stakes, and like generally you have more of a rapport and like years of trust already built. So like when you start like working that muscle, setting boundaries, it's such a safe space to do that. Yeah, because you don't have that, like if you were starting to do that straight up, just starting to do that, and you were also dating, then you are, which live your life if you can handle this, love that. But you are getting to know that person, so you don't know how that person will react, which is not a reason not to do it, but just in terms of like making it easier for yourself. So you're getting to know this person, you don't know the intricacies of their mind yet, and then you're also like playing around with this, because like, a lot of this can sound like, and I think this is a shadow of the Virgo Venus, but like a little bit of, so that like training for a relationship, like it's the Olympics, and because then when we get into it, it's going to be like perfect. It's not in terms of like, it's perfect, but in terms of like, I have to find someone that is aligned with XYZ, and we're just going to have a great open communication thing and not have any issues. That's actually the opposite of what anyone actually wants, and what relationships are, where it's constant communication. And if that looks like, okay, I'm upset right now, I need to go away, I'll come back in like a little bit and we'll actually talk about this. Like, not like just, it's not like about figuring everything out right then and there, but the training of the relationship isn't for the relationship, isn't for the perfect relationship. It's for every relationship you're going to enter the rest of your life, and the relationships you're already in.
And that constant communication, and you can have good communication and also have conflict. That's actually very healthy.
Yeah. And investing in yourself and nourishing your relationship with yourself, the most important. And it sounds like this pause has done that for you and has been so healing.
Yes.
Good job. Cheers to you.
Yay. Thank you.
Yay. What role do you think community support plays in our individual healing?
Oh my God. Huge. And that is just related to a lot of stuff that I was just talking about too, of that is, if you like engage in community support, then that also helps that. So like your relationship within a community helps and speaks to the way you engage with like a personal one-on-one relationship as well. So it like really like sometimes, yeah, it looks like going to a community and just being, you know, that unfiltered, like hey, or just like straight, sometimes just saying like, yeah, hey, I'm not feeling good today. And sometimes that is, then you have like something specific that you're like, can somebody send me cat memes? Or like, I just want to be listened to. But also this is something I've been thinking about with friendships and just spending time with people in general is, you know, not everything has to be like, let's go. Okay, so this Saturday we're going to do this. First we're going to go to get coffee, and then we're going to thrift, and then we're going to go to the park and whatever. Or like this whole pre-planned thing. Sometimes it's like, this is community support. Sometimes it's like, I need to go to the DMV. Can you come with me?
Yes, the body doubling.
The body doubling.
That's my favorite kind of friendship. Like, let's definitely coffee and thrift, but like, yeah, can we go do errands and maybe lay in my bed and watch a movie?
That builds so much. That builds even more emotional intimacy sometimes, because a lot of times, because if it's like a fun day, then that's the state of mind you're in, and it almost feels like you're on sometimes, even if it's like someone you're really close to. But there was a friend that I had that she moved out of Boston, but when she was in Boston, we would co-work, we would do errands, I helped her pack up to move, and we also just like chilled. And sometimes we did have these like, and we had like a lot of like, I think, spontaneous days, and also like errand body doubling moments. Those are like some of my favorite times in Boston.
Those are the best friends. Somebody that will body double with you, for you, with you.
With you, yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of that on Zoom, and it's with her and then other people too, and it's great. Because, yeah, I think sometimes a barrier for people is like, for like connecting with other people, is feeling like you have to prepare for it, or feeling like you have to be on, when the expectation is like, this is what we're doing together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like I didn't answer a part of like your first question.
I think you did. Yeah. Community support. And like, how does that relate to like our personal healing journeys?
And the initial question. but I feel like you
nailed it. Yeah. I'm taking a little pause. Nikki. Are there any self-care practices that you find particularly helpful for maintaining your mental health?
Yes. Really so I had a reading with a past client of mine who's a medium.
How is that?
Sorry, Gigi's giving a look at it.
Gigi loves you.
Big beady eyes and her little head and her little... Okay.
Gigi does not do this to everyone. She actually does it to very few that come in the camp.
We do have a connection. This is my daughter, but she doesn't live with me. This is my niece.
It's so morbid, but we've like talked about several times. Like if anything were to ever happen to me, Gigi would be taken care of so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
The boys, oh gosh, I don't know, but Gigi would be like, Gigi's gonna be fine.
Yes, you'll be fine, girl. Chihuahuas live a long time.
Oh
Okay.
yes. Oh, another decade at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
They never die. You're a good girl. But yes, that was great. It was. She talked about first, yeah, it's because it started off with her being like, I see
a chihuahua.
Yes, I see a chihuahua in my future. I see pink glitter, and like Chapel Roan's story is similar to yours, and I'm like, oh my god, period. I also just. She moved home too. She moved in with her parents too. Yeah. But she talked about, because now that I am living with my parents, she talked about recycling energy of like, so basically how I've done that, basically like what that like does is it could be for your household. It could also just be, you know, we go out into the world and we like interact with so many people, even if you work from home, and you just pick up so much stuff,
like energy throughout the day.
Yeah, throughout the day, and you have a lot on you at the end of the day. But that's not just like from the world, that's also from your thoughts that you're having, that like, and then if you were, it's really, I mean, I feel, yeah, a lot of people have anxious thoughts, most of us, at least once during the day. Mm-hmm. That, any leftover from that, just stressors that you came across and worries about tomorrow and just stuff like that. You know, taking all of that and like cleansing it from cleansing it from yourself, and also like it, recycling it, like turning it into something good. Like, so she said that to me because, you know, I am the person in the house that like cares about that stuff, that does that work, mm-hmm. and knows that like if I don't do something after the end of a long day like that, then I carry it into the next day. Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
So yeah, like it can, so I'll say first what it looks like for me, and obviously that's, but anyone can do, there's anyone can do like something like this. But I know like cleansing, grounding, and shielding are 3 pillars of energy work that I've got that from my people I know and past clients who are energy workers. I also am Reiki attuned. And what I just start off, well, first, you know, connect to your breath. Start off with a couple breaths. Sometimes I do a body scan. Well, so it's sometimes I combine, but like I always at least try to just literally imagine a white light literally just going from my head to toe. And as it's, this could be like under a minute, a couple minutes, however long you want to take with it. And just imagining that is cleansing out what is not like gonna be good for me to keep around head to toe. And it's, I imagine it's just pushing everything down and through. And then once we get to, and sometimes you can do that also as a body scan, which is a body scan, you know, that's in a lot of meditations. If you just Google meditation, also for hypnotic induction, we use that, but it's like, okay, just naming every body part or every part of your body, or like I'm in my head and I'm examining what's going on in my skull and my brain and my eyes and nose, and just naming everything. And just when you name a part of your body, imagining seeing if there's any sensations that are there, like any pain or anything, and you can sit with that pain and just see if anything comes up, any messages or just anything, or just also like just giving it some love. So then once you get to the ground, the feet, imagine like a root of a tree coming up and like wrapping around your feet, for example, something that's the grounding, connecting you to earth. You can also go barefoot in the ground, but it's cold now, but you can.
It is, yeah.
And then also imagining, some people imagine a cord coming down from wherever, your intuition, the spirit world, like whatever, heaven, whatever language, above, your higher self, whatever language like makes sense for you. And that's kind of like just helping you stay connected to your intuition, but also like open to just like any sources of guidance. So cleansing, grounding, shielding. And then I also just literally, my friend told me to just imagine a literal like cocoon or shield. And what does it look like? It could be pink, it could be lime green. Mine is like cosmic, like it is navy blue with like stars on it just around you. Sometimes I also imagine just the room I'm in covered in white light. So if you, you know, if you're not trained or like whatever and all of that, just Google like a chakra balancing meditation or cleansing meditation. I'm sure something would come up for that. You know, it is the wild, wild west, but as long as it feels good to you, was whatever they say. I can't, you know, it's not regulated. I can't guarantee what will be said, but sometimes that takes like 5 minutes, and just really just trying to not go from like living my life and go straight into like, okay, I'm watching YouTube. Okay, I'm falling asleep. Something to move around what all happened. And sometimes I'll read after, even if it's just like 10 pages, five pages, whatever, like to not go from screen to screen, basically, you know.
Move around the energy, tune in with yourself, and release. You are so well spoken. You're such a storyteller.
Really?
Yeah, I love listening to you talk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, you are such a storyteller. In what ways do you think that art and storytelling can be used as powerful tools for advocacy for the queer community, advocacy and healing?
Oh my God, I love that. Love that. Art is so important. Like, art is so powerful. And I also think we're all artists. We all have something that is our art. And I think we're a lot of like just people in general, even if you aren't like doing a project or like the gig economy or whatever, like, but just everyone, I feel like a lot of us are just trying to tap into like what we create. So for advocacy for the queer community, I mean, I consume a lot of queer content, and I'll, you know, like to and emit a lot of like online spaces that discuss it. And I think like I wonder, like, I know in the mid 2000s it was like tolerance, and now we're like, okay, we've moved a little past that, but also now we're like going back. But like, I just wonder, like, now it just feels like there's another step beyond representation.
More visibility?
Yeah, like, I think it's because I'm thinking of a conversation I had with my dad where, it's not just representation in terms of like, let's like hit this quota, but it's maybe we don't need, so maybe now it's basically like using art and media as a tool to show queer communities just in everyday events, but their queerness isn't necessarily like the whole point of the project. It's just like, this person is gay and is a detective, and
And maybe isn't a man.
And isn't a man. Yes, literally. This, yeah, and because like I think we don't need any more, or like we don't need every single queer story to be tragic, or
maybe
even
every
yearning.
lesbian TV show doesn't get canceled.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Canceled isn't like Emily Dickinson, which we love that, but there's having, or maybe it's like moving beyond having stereotypical representation, or just one way of representing it, and just having like a multitude, many different ways to be queer being shown. And it's not like the point. What I was saying to my dad, the point is not for people, for like if you have like a gay detective or whatever on TV, for that to be the whole thing. The whole point of the show, it's just that, let's make it, because now they're like, everyone's gay, no one was gay before, blah blah blah.
They're not alive.
Yes, I'm like, they were as in they were gay, they just weren't, they are either dead or they like had to hide or whatever. But it's just that it's just as, I don't want to use the word normal, but like it's just as
the win is like eliminating the spectacle and just having it be. It's not like so different to be queer like in the world on media as it is to being straight. I think we're not there. We're far from that. We are far from it. But...
And that's also not saying like it's not. It shouldn't be celebrated, because we need to celebrate. But that's like where we're kind of heading toward. That's where I think would be a good goal.
Yeah, I think more of the celebration. Let's dial that up and dial back it doesn't have to be divisive or scandalous.
Yes, less scandalous.
Just hold on to the celebration piece.
Yes, let's just celebrate the drama in the show doesn't have to be because the person's gay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, whereas stories like there's a little bit. I love Heartstopper. I don't know what that is. Oh my
god. Where do I consume this?
Netflix.
Okay.
It's a British show, so it's interesting to see how they cover everything versus the US.
There are queer characters?
Yes, they're like 16, and there's a gay guy, and then there's a guy who is bi, and he like finds us out because him and the gay if you don't want me to spoil it, let me know.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, but like they're not the whole, like there is drama because of queerness, but like the problems in the show, some of it is, but not all. There's eating disorders, there's other stuff, and then it's also like I love seeing the queer youth.
Put it on the list.
Yes, it just came out with the 3rd season. They just came out with season 3. It's so good.
It's on the list. It's at the top of the list.
Yes, it should be. It's so good. And 7 by Taylor Swift is used in a scene with 2 young lesbians kissing.
Oh my god.
And she said that she thought the scene was beautiful, and
of course she did.
And like insisted that they use her song for that song.
You don't say.
7.
You don't say. Can we move to India? Pack your dolls. Pack your dolls.
Your dad's
I can't even.
mad.
Don't even get me started on that song. Every time it comes on,
closet?
I could write a dissertation on it.
You don't have to cry or hide in the closet.
Gay. Gay. Could you describe a time when you felt a profound sense of belonging in the queer community, and what made it so significant for you?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Like so many. I kind of was thinking about this recently too. Like how like, at what point after coming out did I go from it being, like, the lens in which I view the world and, like, a big part of me as a person, go from, like, that just being like, I'm bi, to that. And not so... I was out once I moved in with all of these people, but, you know, not only, like I said in the last episode, I had the big gay group in college, but my years living in Providence, and still now, even not living there, slowly but surely, like, over time, through, like, people coming into terms with gender stuff and relationship, people becoming polyamorous, and me dating people and whatever, and relationship dynamics changing, and then, like, it's just that group has had so much personal and interpersonal through, like, the lens of queerness, so many, like, experiences, like, so many shifts and changes, and, like, we've met, and then through them being out at events, and also just, like, through them friends bringing new people, or just, like, people to parties and gatherings.
She got a little drip of caramel. Look at her little tail.
Oh, she's so excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, well, yes, my little queen. Yes, my pink pony girl. Yes.
Oh man.
Just, like, being a part of a big gay group and it being so dynamic and oh.
She licked the mic. We back?
Oh,
we're back.
Right. That, and also including queerness in my brand. I wasn't out for the first year of my business.
Wow.
And I was still working with, like, homophobic people.
There's a lot of shadow work in coming out.
Yes.
How do you think shadow work could benefit the queer community as a whole?
Oh my God. Well, so the first thought I had, because this was a part of my own shadow work related related to coming out, is, like, feeling queer enough. You know, there's so many ways in which people struggle with that, whether it is the age that they came out, or just being, if you're bi or pan or queer or anywhere under that umbrella, feeling queer enough. And I think we talked about that a little bit last time. There's so much discourse around that. Or people that, like I have, what's the term? Rolling pronouns? I have she, they, I think rolling, or whatever that's not the word, but, if people are starting to, like, come into that, so, like, part of, a lot of times people are, like, coming to terms with themselves through in community, or even, like, just watching online which is the worst, online discourse, and, like, they're just figuring their stuff out, but especially online, like, there is, yes, queen.
She wants more of your drink.
No. There's so much need for sureness and labels, even though it's supposed to be, like, a liberating experience.
Oh, she's coming over. You doing it?
Yeah, so I think...
Yep. She's coming to Mom. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, go to your mommy.
Tucker's not happy about this. Anyways.
All right.
Yeah, there's so much shadow work in coming out, and there's no right amount of queerness. You are valid. However you identify, it's enough.
Yeah, you have to, like, it's to really like embody those words. Yeah, you have to give yourself that, you have to see yourself as queer enough, and it's really hard in environments like that to see yourself as quote unquote queer enough, because there is no queer enough.
It's hard, I think, to step into that when you maybe don't have queer community. Mm-hmm. I know I really struggled with that in my 20s. I was in a very like queer friendly city. Mm-hmm. I worked in a like really sex positive, like whatever positive place, but still like I didn't have that. And like when I was figuring out those pieces, I still like my friend group was mostly straight, but it was online that I really like found validation and like support.
Yeah.
Even though my friends were so supportive and so warm and didn't care at all, but like there's something in somebody knowing exactly what you're talking about. Like that sort of validation is so healing in a way.
Yeah, you can discuss the nuances of that, of having that identity in a way, with someone that would actually, they can be supportive, and that's helpful, but to deepen your experience in that identity and just
like process and talk through what you're going through.
Yes.
Everybody needs a sounding board.
Yes.
Best case, it'll be a therapist, but not everybody has access to that.
Yes. Best case, that's in the mix. And someone also with that. So through like the enoughness. And then because also there's, and then like even people run into it with like top or bottom, or like how experienced, the experience of it all. That was a really overwhelming piece for me when I started like, okay, maybe I'm not bi, maybe I'm a lesbian. Then there are all these other terms and words you have to learn. Mm-hmm. Never mind what you're going to do with them. Yeah, right. It's like, it's not realistic to come into like one identity or community and then immediately know all the definitions.
Nobody fits in a box.
Everything. And it's like, because people do, and you're right, that's the whole point. But then people want to put each other in boxes, which people do.
But at the same time, the last people we had on, we were like talking about like the term lesbian. I'm like, I'm so happy to be in that box. Put me in that box every day of the week, tied up with a bow, send it. That box I want to be in. But that's not helpful for everyone.
And just like there's the lesbian box in general, and then but also like then people hear that, and it's when they try to put being a lesbian means this, being a lesbian, like not like in terms of you're who you love and all of that, but like you have to dress and look this, and then there's butch and which that's helpful, like, and like people find that
was overwhelming too. Actually, when I started dating Andy was the first time I really like came in touch with that, like terms like that, like butch, soft butch. Like I knew those words, but like I hadn't met anyone that like had put them into action. And like just discussing that stuff brought up so much for me that I didn't even know was there. I think okay. Wait, pause. He's gonna toss that off. He's gonna toss all of that off.
Put me in that box.
I know. One of the times I said box, I was like, box, lesbian box.
I didn't even realize what I said until I saw her dying.
Put me in that box.
Tucker, go to bed.
Put me in coach.
Go to bed. Go on.
Put me in that box.
That's a good.
But also
put
me in that box. Go.
In many ways.
Can you put him on the bed? Thank you. Sorry. I think that he.
He wanted to get away.
Okay, I love you. Goodbye. Okay. Are we gonna get through this? I don't know. So Nikki. What are your thoughts on tops and bottoms?
Tops and bottoms.
And do you want a cat in your lap?
Yeah. I mean,
you
if
might
he wants
have one.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming the other way, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever he wants.
Tucker would be a top. Not that we're going to sexualize animals on this podcast, but...
Yeah, look at him. He's giving top. He's like, hey, I'm
every
here.
episode, he's like, what are your thoughts?
Yes. Well, yeah, because related to this, like what I was something I was thinking of just saying is that like the pressure that people feel when people talk so definitively about these labels and in
we can roll. I just am dying.
He's like, yes, hello.
Oh my god. Okay. One more time. What are your thoughts on labels, tops, bottoms? Switch. What are you?
Yeah, like when people, that is like a whole, you need to figure that out. You need space and experience. And I think when people feel pressure from conversations, and some of this is people putting the pressure on it, some of this is the way that people are internalizing it and taking it in. Just because someone's talking about tops and bottoms doesn't mean that they're asking you to tell them right now which one you are. That it can hinder people like exploring. It happened to me. I just, once I heard about like the phrases, I was like, is one better? No, it's not. But like just these like thoughts of like people do talk about like, haha, oh, you're a bottom. Ugh. Like there's jokes, but also there's like stuff behind the jokes of like, oh, you're a little weak. There's like sometimes stigma. And yeah, so I don't know. I literally feel like I think I said I was a switch, but I think I mostly had shame around like being I'm still gonna stick with bottom leaning switch because sometimes like, yeah, I want to be topping, or like what the most fun I've had is when it's truly very Libra rising, like truly an equal moment, like
right.
Me and then
we love an equal moment.
I love.
There's no
my
other
turn,
way.
your turn. That's the best.
Yeah. What is your take on like? First of all, do you like the word tool or toy? Do you have an opinion on that?
I don't think I ever heard tool. Like sex tools?
Yeah,
Never heard
yeah.
that.
I've heard an argument for calling them tools where it's like you're not like not infantilizing. Yeah, but like just bringing it into the adult era.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do I use?
Do you partake? Do you?
Yeah, the time that there's, not every time, because there's, I sometimes I just, what's the word, like, yeah, sometimes just working with you God is great and
I call
fun.
it analog.
Like I've always like, I'm like flesh on flesh. What a time. But I've had fun with tools, but like it's not like a need for me, but like, obviously, there's one thing you can't do with your fingers, which is strap moment. And so if you're wanting that experience, then I've enjoyed.
Have you strapped up?
Both. It was a switch. It was like, it was great. Like, okay, me and then you.
I'm a little intimidated by that.
It was fun. Yeah, I think it was like I went over to hang out with her and she was like, I went to Good Vibrations and I got a strap. And she was like, we can use it later. I was like, yeah, let's do it, period. Let's do it. Are you what, top or bottom? What's
Very switchy.
Yep.
Libra, I like
like.
an equal moment.
Yep, exactly. And I'm like, what? Don't make me choose.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
fun
want everything all the time.
Yeah.
All at
yes.
once. Yeah. Don't make me choose.
Exactly.
I can't. I won't.
Like, literally that Libra rising, like, and that's, well, no, because because Libra rising, like, that you can feel for, like, I know you're a Libra sun, but, like, you can feel that, like, lack of balance, quote unquote. And sometimes it's like, okay, this is a moment where I actually can sit and just, like, receive and have fun in that and not feel like, oh my god, it shouldn't be like, oh my god, I feel bad, like I didn't top you or whatever. But most of the time, but like it's usually like, well, it's a discussion, but the person's like, no, that's literally what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to. So bottoming is actually an act of, like, radical receiving.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's, like,
That's
radical self-acceptance, for sure, in just being able to receive and being in that moment and not feeling like the urgency to reciprocate or, like, the compulsive need to reciprocate.
Yeah, back to motivation. It shouldn't be like, okay, now I have to do you in order to feel okay about this.
Totally.
Yes. Oh my God. But whenever I talk about, like, sex or talk about, like, relationships with friends or whatever, that's the only time just that I am like, maybe I should get on an app and just, like, fine. And then I do, and then what really, like, the dating apps. I saw something today that someone was saying, like, dating apps train you, if you use it a certain way, which is the way that most people do, like, to be, like, chemically addicted to, like, you know, this hearing from the other person, and then that translates to, like, the texting, and then that translates to how it starts.
We've talked about this. Like, I do not operate that way.
Please,
like,
for the class, share your vibe check.
Okay, if you're going to be investing energy on an app and your goal is to meet someone, I just don't see the value in investing time in a person that's a complete stranger. Like, the more you talk, you're going to put ideas on this. You have to do a vibe check and meet out of the gate. A quick coffee. It doesn't have to be committal. Something very quick, just to, like, see if there's chemistry. Before you invest all this time and energy in creating a story in your head, you have to do a vibe check.
Like, that is, like, that changed, like, yes, because, you know, like I was saying in the beginning of people-pleasing tendencies coming out in relationships, and in the past only, like, falling into them, like, the times before my, like, intentional break that I have been dating, that, like, I would go a week. Who's doing that?
You can't.
Why
do
are
that.
we doing?
It's too much time. It's too much time and energy.
What are we? Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, like, what are we doing?
Let it be known, I did break that rule with Andy.
Oh.
Our first date was a dinner, which broke all of my rules.
Oh, and how long were you chatting?
Oh, I don't know. We'd have to look. That might be some interesting investigatory.
I also had to pick my mom up from the airport, so it was like there was a deadline.
I think that we were talking for less than a week before.
Okay.
I thought you meant, like, the length of the date.
Oh, the length of the date was a couple of hours, which is still, like...
So, but I also that's good that you had a cutoff, because what I was doing when I first got to, that first summer I got to Boston, I was bipping and bopping around on all the apps. I had a great time.
That was your brat summer.
That was...
Was that 2022? Did we talk about that?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, that was my brat summer, girl.
2022 was my brat summer as well, and it was a messy ending to that.
And, like, every day I would talk to these people for, like, weeks, and before setting up a or like going on a date, and then we wouldn't just end the date at dinner.
What do you mean? How would it end?
The only time it did end like basically at dinner was a date that I didn't have a second date to, and I just got friend vibes. We had vegan Chinese food in Chinatown, and then walked around the Boston Common. But you know, everyone else, this girl, I mean, I enjoyed this one. This one I stayed on because I was having a great time. And I just wanted to, and I never got to see her enough. I only saw her one more time after that, and then it just, but anyway, well, what did we do? We went to pick her up. We went to, that beach in Quincy. And
okay, we love a beach moment.
Did we eat?
Romantic.
Oh yeah, we did eat. Yeah. And then we like just drove around Quincy and walked around all these beach areas until like 12:30
a.m.
And then yeah, most of my dates went until like we would meet up at 7, and most of them would go until like 1-2 a.m.
Damn.
And
are you sure you're not a lesbian?
Well, no, I'm not.
Nikki Vergakis is a lesbian. That was our biggest soundbite.
Oh yeah. I love it. Are you sure you're not a lesbian? Well, no.
I think you might be.
But yeah, oh, me too.
I'm putting you in that box.
Probably the most. You can, you can put me in that box. The only, like, I think I said this because I'm not actively dating, like, and I haven't had these thoughts since I've only had these thoughts and stuff like while I wasn't actively dating. So probably the next time I actively date, I'll be like, hey guys, I'm a lesbian, so just watch out for that.
Hell yes, you heard it here first.
It's been, it's in just, I was listening to Julia Fox's book today. I'm finishing listening to it. It's so good. And she is out as a lesbian now.
Wait, she's not the one with the crazy outfits.
She is. Queen. Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, okay. I need to listen to that. I do like her. She's a lesbian.
She is now, and listening back, like, all of her, she was married, obviously she has a kid, well, you can have a kid, but she was married to a man and, like, she did have passionate love affairs and relationships with men, but they're all of them were very transactional, or she also just, like, gets enthralled with people very easily.
And the compet runs so deep.
It runs so deep, but, like, so the way she would talk about men would be, like, yeah, he pays my rent, and like, yes, we have crazy sex, and we fight like hell, and whatever. And then when she talks about like all of her female friendships were very close, but there was like a couple, there was in her youth of definitely like one of those, homoerotic, and then it ended badly, whatever. And then she had a friend that passed away, and right as Uncut Gems was coming out, but they were friends for a long time, and she writes about in the book, like, if I had been honest about my sexuality, I probably would have dated her. Like, she was jealous of my husband. We were in love. Like, I sometimes would be hanging out with her and would look to her and be like, dang, is she the one? But they never did anything. But it was like, she's like, there will never be anyone else like Jonna ever again.
She'll meet her. She'll find her.
Yeah, she will. She will. Yeah, because then she was on TikTok like, hey guys, so yes, I used to be a lesbian that hated her boyfriends, but I'm that lesbian, but here I am now.
Love that for her. I definitely claim her. Yeah. She's super cool.
I love her.
She's a little unhinged, which is my specific brand.
Exactly.
The type of stuff I like to consume.
After you listen to the book, you'll be like, well, she's had unhinged experiences, and she's also grown a lot, but she is very... She
seems grounded, though.
Yes.
And like
now she's very grounded, but it could also... But you can be grounded and a little unhinged. yeah, same. We do.
Do you have a phrase or mantra that you use to help you through tough times?
Yeah. This is a friend in high school said this one time. I don't know where she got it, but I love it. The only constant in life is change. Mm-hmm. And then lately, well, to describe my work, I've been saying this, but the only way out is through.
Oh my gosh, I knew you were going to say that. I think about that all the time. Yes.
You gotta.
That is your line, and it is so true.
Mm-hmm. You gotta face your shit.
You have to go through it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then in terms of my brand, yeah, it's like you have to face your shit, as in the only way out is through facing your stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It's time for the lightning round.
Woo!
What is your most embarrassing moment on a date? If you will be so kind to share with the group.
Yeah. Fuck it. So during that, well, this was Brat Autumn. It was Autumn 2022, and there was, a girl, we went, I don't know we had dinner. No, this was our second date. And then we went back to my apartment, and we were hooking up, and I make playlists and categorize songs through vibe. And now I don't know what the heck I was thinking, but Marjorie ended up on my...
Whoa, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah,
for like context. A sexy date? I
don't know how that song ended up. Like, I think I have Marjorie is a song about Taylor Swift's dead grandmother that has her dead grandmother's vocals in the song. Fun fact. It's a beautiful, beautiful song.
I cry every time.
Same. I don't know. I mean, so she...
Did she realize what that song...
Oh, yeah, she was a Swiftie. Yeah, so she was like, I've never made someone come to Marjorie before. And then I was like, gay, and she was like, this is about her grandmother.
Oh my god. Thank you for sharing with the group.
I think back to that and go sometimes. And then I never saw her again. So
that is actually the best thing I've ever heard. And, oh my god. What is your favorite queer anthem right now?
Oh my god. Because I don't know why I was like, what if she asked me about my favorite song right now? Because like this. Yes. Is it? Yeah. I've just been loving the Japanese House lately. It was on the Love Her Down, and she also was on the Apple remix on the Brat remix album. But on her latest album, she has a song called Touching Yourself, which it's like I had to go into the other room. She sent me something, and she sent me something, and I can't be around anyone else. Yeah. Ooh. It's about gay sexting.
Spicy.
So, it's so good. It's so good.
On the list. What reality show would you slay on?
Ooh. Well, I love Big Brother, and I often wonder if I would slay on that, because I've watched like every single season since.
Okay, Big Brother has a following like that. One of my best friends has watched every single season, and she like goes online and watches. Yep. Like, do you? Oh my god.
Well, we have. I now live with my parents who have cables, because it's on 3 times a week.
But there's also like footage online 24/7 that you can watch.
And you have to, but I just don't know about the challenges, because but you need, or like there's physical skill and mental skill for like the games and challenges, and if you winning that dictates if you're in charge of who gets voted out, or if you can save someone who's on the chopping block to get voted out.
Okay, wait, whatever. You have to be on this show. You would be so good.
Yeah, you have to have a social game, too.
You have such a social game. I feel like you make friends so easily.
Yeah.
I would watch. Please, try out.
They are casting right now.
You have to try out. do it.
Oh my God.
That would be so good.
Because like you make like alliances, and some people are like in multiple alliances. Sometimes it backfires on them. I feel like I would slay.
You would slay. You have to send in a tape.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my
Maybe.
God.
And you win $750,000. But it used to be $500,000, but inflation.
I could make friends for that. Jeez.
Yeah. And you're locked away, obviously, for 100 days. You don't leave. It's a big house. That's the only thing. Nothing. They actually, at the finale that happened last Sunday, Julie Chen, the host, had to tell them, like, hey guys, so the election is actually Kamala Harris now. And they were like, what? Like, they didn't know.
Wow.
Which actually would be great. It would be great to be plugged.
That would be nice to have 100
unplugged.
days off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah. It's like, there's, you have to play the game and there's drama, but like you get to leave your own life.
Yeah. Take a little siesta.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. It's just people hanging out around the house, talking game, and just hanging out, working
I get burnt out on like social. I don't know if my social
that's
battery.
the only thing. Like I do actually have a kind of, not limited, but it's not an unlimited social battery.
I need like a significant amount of alone time to recharge.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be.
That's the only
I'm
thing.
not going. You should go though.
But I also like do get recharged by being around people, and I'm sure people have alone time. So I would just be like, I gotta be alone for a little bit, guys. I'm sure that happens.
Yeah, it must.
So, yeah.
What is the best advice you've received on love?
Wow. Just all of, literally the vibe check thing is huge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah. And just like, I also, tying back to a lot of things that I said about like past dating patterns today, whenever in recent history, whenever I've been dating someone and I've been wondering if I'm being played around with, or if this person's being honest, or like if I feel weird about something that happened. Whenever I've gone to my friends, they've always like reassure me of like, what do you want out of this situation? And like, no, because it can be easy for, in these moments, it was easy for me to be like, yeah, no, this is what she wants, and yeah, we'll just have to find something that works out. Or they're like, no, you have a choice here. Like, what do you really want? Like, that doesn't sound like she's being honest with you. Just always like reminding me that I have agency, that I don't have to just go along with whatever the other person says. Because the last time I dated was something this spring where that exact thing, my friends were very helpful in like helping me not just be like, whatever she wants, it's fine. Oh my God.
Setting those internal boundaries and external boundaries, working that muscle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then being like, no, I think, all of this stuff you said is not cool what she's doing, actually. Like, it's hard for me to admit, like, if someone's being, I don't admit,
like,
but,
wishy-washy.
Yeah.
She kind of was wishy-washy. To put it nicely.
Yep. Yes.
Have you ever ghosted someone?
Have I ever ghosted someone? I really tried to not do that. It depends, though. Like, it depends on how much you've invested in, if it's just been like one date or whatever. Like that date that was the Chinese food and then the Boston Common, we must have just like both known, but they were like, yeah, like I'll hit you up And then we both just never text each other again. I was attempted to be ghosted this spring, and then I said, hey, just gonna take this as you're not interested in me anymore. Bye. And then yeah, she was like, but she was definitely trying to ghost me. And no, there was one person that I wanted to, but I had gotten I got too far in. I went on like 6 dates with this person and liked I had fun on all of them. I think I was just like happy to be there, happy to be dating, but at the end of the day, I did not actually really end up liking this person that much. And so I think I said to them, like, before we moved any further, I was like, because I was like, I'm actually not really dating. I don't have like capacity for this. I'm not really dating right now. So no, except for no.
You were so much fun, so charismatic. I imagine that you're a person who also has put some thought into like, am I having fun on this date because this person is fun, or am I bringing the fun?
Yes. That too. And also just like noticing, because like I just love the experience. I love I'm truly happy to be there girly, just with a lot of things. But then you do have to be like, okay, who's carrying here? Or also, like, am I enjoying this because it's attention and like I'm being complimented and like I'm like getting to like make out with someone when that can happen from anyone. But is it, what about the actual person? Yeah.
So it's the fall. We had the pleasure of having you here at the end of the summer. Do you think that we can plan on a winter visit?
Oh, like coming back in the winter? Oh my God, love it.
Can we make this a seasonal date?
Oh my God, please.
Amazing.
And then we'll do like something wintry.
Something. And you heard it here first. Nikki Vergakis is a lesbian.
That's the title.
And
And
or by winter I'll be a lesbian.